Hope Channel, changing lives.
Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Real Talk here at the studios of Hope TV Ghana. My name is Evie, and once again we are here to talk about a very interesting, important and educative topic. You know, this is something that you hear most often, and people even think it's just with Ghana or African countries where you hear parents having a strong say in who their children marry. So you hear things like, I don't want you to marry from this family, I don't want you to marry from this tribe, I don't want you to marry from this social class, what have you. And somebody will say, in this 21st century, are we still fighting this problem? There are so many things to fight. Is this part of them? But then yes, we have parents that believe that people from certain tribes are a particular way. And so regardless of who you are, what you have done, whatever character building you have done, they don't care. The fact that you come from a certain tribe or a certain family is just a no for them. And sometimes you even find yourself in situations where the parents will go ahead and love your partner, not knowing where they come from. But immediately they get to know where the person comes from, it's almost as if it erases all that they've seen, all the love, all the respectful traits you have, all the great personality you have, and now you are reduced to a tribe, you are reduced to a family. And this is what some people call tribalism, but actually it is ethnocentrism. And today we are going to look at this topic. We are going to talk about it because the young man is saying that he's being forced, he's being pushed to do something that he doesn't want to do, and he wants advice. Should he go against his parents and still go ahead and marry the girl, or he should listen to what his father is saying and then maybe let the girl go just because of the tribe she comes from? And so we are going to go into the discussion shortly, but before that, I'd like to remind you that we are live on Facebook and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. You can also leave your comments under the comment section. We encourage you to interact with us because this is a talk show, a very interactive one. So leave your thoughts, your comments, what have you, under our comment section, and as the program goes on, I'll read some of your comments as well. Also, I'd like to remind you that you can also send us your story to us either via our WhatsApp number, our email address. You can send it to us on Facebook Messenger, any avenue that you may prefer. And we will find you the right people to have the right conversation as we have done today. So let me go ahead and introduce my panelists to you. The person in the studio is obviously not a stranger. Josephine, Mrs. Josephine Owusu-Eje. It's she's a familiar face, and today she's here again. Josephine, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
How is the family?
Oh, we are great by His grace.
Yeah, how's your week been though? Are you back to school?
I'll be back to school next week.
Oh, okay, so you're still in holiday mood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Joining me virtually, I have Godfred Kwesi Aka. Godfred, can you hear me? I don't know if you're muted, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing? Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening and thanks for having me.
Are you ready for the discussion?
Sure.
Okay. The next person joining me, the last, obviously not the least, is Daniel Opuni-Mensah. Good evening, Daniel. How are you doing?
Good evening, and I'm doing very good. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I hope you're ready to have the conversation.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's great. Okay, let's just look at our story, then we can continue with the discussion. It says, my ethnocentric father is refusing to bless my marriage. Dear Real Talk, I need some real advice. I am a young man, 28 years old, and ready to get married. I have been I've been friends with this girl since high school. Along the way, I realized I liked her more than a friend and found out she felt the same way too. So we took our relationship further. After completing my national service, I introduced her to my parents and they seemed happy for me. They liked her immediately because she's so kind and respectful. In fact, most people who meet her like her a lot because of her bubbly personality. However, things took a turn for the worse when my dad asked me about her background and tribe. Informing my parents where my girlfriend comes from led to a heated argument in my family. My dad is insisting I can't marry her due to tribal differences. He claims her people and our people can't marry because of certain traits known of her people. My screen keeps going off, I don't know why. So we'd have to go to the slide before this. All of a sudden, my girlfriend has been categorized as her people. What about the individual they met and loved? My mom isn't helping matters in any way because she's not talking. I can see she loves her and wouldn't mind if I marry her, but it's as if she's afraid to stand up to my dad, stand up for me against my dad. In this 21st century, are these enough reasons to prevent your child from marrying from another tribe? Is that how Christians are expected to behave? For me, love knows no boundaries, and I see her as a respectful person and a potential life partner. My father is refusing to see reason. How can I get him to understand me? He's pushing me to go ahead and marry. He's pushing me to go ahead and marry her with or without his blessings. I should be allowed to make my own decisions, especially when it comes to someone I'll spend the rest of my life with. I don't want to dishonor my parents, but at this point, they are leaving me with no choice. How do I handle this situation? So obviously, we can see that this young man has found a woman that he believes he loves. He believes she's the right person. He says she's respectful. Everybody loves her, but all of a sudden her father says no because of her tribe. And his mother is also very quiet on the matter. She's not saying anything to help him. And so he's left alone and he wants to know what to do. Just, I'm sure you've heard this thing before. Oh, don't marry from this tribe, don't marry from this family, these people are like this, my cousin's sister married from that tribe and something like that happened, and so because of that something. You've heard it before. What's your general take on this story right now?
Tribe.
Yeah.
Okay. This is one of the stories we've been hearing over and over again. It is very common. And it doesn't happen in only Ghanaian setting.
Right.
When I read about it and I delved into it much, I realized that even outside the Ghanaian setting, we have other African countries who also have the same challenge. And even outside Africa and other continents. Yeah. So it cuts across. We have racial issues.
Absolutely.
Yes. We have stereotyping. Yes. And we have tribal. They are all related. Yes. So it's not something that is surprising.
Right.
Yes. So in the end of the story, or at the end of the discussion, we'll be able to give solutions to the man.
Yeah.
And then how he should go about the challenge that he's facing now.
Absolutely, that's true. Daniel, I'll come to you. As Josephine clearly said, this is not, specific to Ghana. We have people living outside Ghana, even clearly, as she said, racial. You can't marry someone because they are white or they are black. You can't marry someone because they're probably Hispanic. And also social class. This person is from a poor background and so they can't associate with us. It reminds me of what happened on the Titanic when the girl's family said no because obviously Jack was from a poor background. So we hear this thing and it's not specific to Ghana. But with this story in context, what is going through your mind right now? What's your general take on this story?
Well, thank you. I think it is a true reflection of, our society, in which we live. And in as much as it is unfortunate, one would think that, as the story said, in this century, why are we still looking at, these issues? But
Yeah.
that is what it is. And I think that, just like Josephine said, it is all over the place. Here, out here, there are Ghanaian parents who are struggling with their children, trying to marry Hispanics. There are Ghanaian parents who are struggling with their children, marrying people from other races and all that. And I think it is a very common thing. And unfortunately, when you hear it coming from Christians, who, you wish that we should know better, but unfortunately, it is what it is. And I think, it needs to be handled.
Absolutely, we should know better. I'm going to come to you, and I'm going to ask, as clearly Daniel has said, we should know better, as Christians, we should know better. But it is the world that we live in. Godfred, what is going through your mind right now?
Well, honestly, it's not a simple thing. It's challenging in the sense that I'm looking at the emotional stability of the man, the woman he intends marrying. What is also going through the father and then the mother. It's in fact it's not an easy situation, of which if care is not taken, it might escalate into something different.
That's true. If care is not taken, we can see how this might play. We have a son who is going to be disowned by his family, or we have a beautiful relationship that is not going to end up in marriage. But Josephine, what is your opinion on ethnocentrism? Do you think there's some truth to it? They say that what an adult will see sitting down, a child will not see climbing a tree. All these sayings that our people have. Do you think that if we are going to be honest, there's some truth to do not marry from here because of this, do not marry from there because of this, oh, this family, they are known for this and all that. Remember, I don't know if now they do it. Okay, before I got married, my father did it where they go and investigate your partner's background to make sure that they come from a family where they are not thieves, they are not bad people, all that. But do you think that a parent basing their sole, what's it called, advice or sole reaction on you getting married to someone based on tribe, do you think that's solid? Do you think it's a solid point for the father to make? Because whether we like it or not, when they say we should be careful, maybe there's some truth to it.
Okay. In life, people talk through their experiences.
True.
Okay. If I'm saying something, it might be that I have experienced that same thing before. Okay. That is why I'm saying that this place, don't go there, because it has happened to me before, so I don't want you to be there. Okay. Parents have their own reasons why they say that don't go into this tribe, don't marry from this tribe, don't go into this family. As a matter of fact, I won't deny the fact that they shouldn't do it, or there is no importance, or there's no benefits that we can derive from they going to investigate from such families. It might be true. Yes, there are cases that are true, they are facts, and it happens. And if you don't obey your parents, when you get in there, you see it. Yes. So it's not wrong for them to investigate or to tell the man that he shouldn't go into such tribe. Okay. There are instances that are true, that when you get in there, it can happen to you. Okay. But we can't have a hasty generalization. That's true. And say that, oh, we are generalizing everything, that every Akan member is this. In everything, even if you generalize, you have exceptions. That's true. There'll be exceptions there. Even twins, I always say that twins, identical twins, there are differences amongst them. Yeah. Yes, you definitely have something that you'll be able to identify that this is the oldest or this is the youngest. So it's not wrong that we generalize because they have experienced it and it might be true. But there are exceptions. That's true. Through tribes. You can say all these people are this. but there are exceptions, and the exceptions, it might be that your son is going for the exception. How would you know?
How would you know?
Yes, you might never know.
Yeah.
So it is true that some tribes are this, because most of the people in that particular tribe are they identified by their character because of culture. Okay, and you definitely know that all Akans, even if there are exceptions, they have certain traits amongst people who are from such tribe. So even if there is an exception, you might have some traits in that particular person. For that one, you can't deny it. So it's not wrong for the parents to say such a thing, but I believe that they should pray much about it, and then, because you can't say that every tribe there is this. So when you get in there, yes, they are stereotyping, and there are people that, yes, it is true that these people are this, but there might be exceptions. And when it comes to tribal issues, we are not the ones who choose our own tribes.
No.
So you can't say that, oh, this person is from this, and then she told God to be there. No,
right.
You see.
Right.
So the person hasn't done anything harm to him or herself from coming to such tribe.
That's
because
true.
God created him or her into such a tribe. So you can't fault that particular person.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
So
absolutely.
it is dicey, and then as you are delving into it, we get to know more.
More, exactly. Clearly, as Josephine has clearly said, we don't choose, just like family, we don't choose our tribes. You are born into it with no fault of yours, and it will be pretty sad to be condemned because you come from there. Daniel, I'll come to you again. You know, what's your opinion on ethnocentrism? But before then, let me just take the definition of ethnocentrism, which is said to be the evaluation of other cultures according to preconceptions originating in the standards and customs of one's own culture. And you know, we hear these things all the time where people just jump into conclusion and say that, hey, this person is from here, then it must mean they are like this. Then it must mean they are like that. And just as Josephine clearly said, you may be totally wrong. And there's this saying in Akan that says, Ebusiabia Monsewum, literally like in every family, there's that one person that is out of the norm. So in this case, in every tribe, we do have such a person. But is that to say that because that person is like that, everybody is like that? Generally, what is your opinion on ethnocentrism? Do you think there's some truth to it? Do you think it makes sense for us to base our ideas, our final decisions on that, just that?
Yeah, thank you. I think that, you know, you see, expressing a sense of cultural superiority is very, very, you know, damaging. And I think that, you know, it is important that we all realize, you know, that we cannot just base our argument, you know, purely based on that.
Yeah.
But just like you said, we need to understand that we are coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you look at, you know, some of the underlying causes of some of these things, I mean, sometimes it's based on the person's upbringing, you know, their socialization, you know, how open they've been, places they've been to, and how exposed they've been, you know, with other, you know, people and cultures. It all feeds into, you know, into this. But if you go back into, you know, into history, I think I remember I saw this video of Asante Hene trying to, they were trying to, you know, select, you know, some local chief, and they were trying to say that the guy is not from this tribe, you know, he doesn't belong here, his parents are from the north somewhere. And Otunfo clearly said, in the olden days, they used to bring women from the north so that the royals could give birth, you know, with them, and then those are royals that end up, you know, kind of ruling, I mean, being royals. And so there's a need for us to realize that, hey, there is, in as much as we come from different tribes, we all come from one big human tribe, and that is what it is.
Yeah.
It is important that we realize that, hey, even though there have been some issues that have come from the past, for which certain cultures have been kind of, you know, branded in a particular way, and I don't think those generalizations are correct. And I think as individuals, we need to evaluate the situation for ourselves based on whatever we are handling, and then make the judgment. But the true fact is that, in as much as we all believe that this is not good, there shouldn't be any place for it, the reality is that it is really something that it is among us. And sometimes, unfortunately, it shows up its ugly head when some big decisions needs to be made, and that is, the situation, for this young man.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Daniel. Godfred, I'll ask you the same question, obviously, with regards to ethnocentrism, and then your opinion on that. Because this is peculiar to this particular tribe. So the father seeing the girl, loving her, acknowledging that she's a great person, just erases everything because of her tribe. Do you think that coming from a particular tribe has such power over who you are as a person, and regardless of whatever traits you may have shown, just by the fact that you come from that tribe, you just become what people are saying about your tribe? We have all these things that they say. I am an Ewe, so I'm going to use the Ewe one that they say. It's either they say the men are strict, and sometimes they say they like school. These can be good things. But then also you hear the ones that they say, hey, they have voodoo, and they have powers, and they can do all of that. You hear all these things. And sometimes I hear that myself as an Ewe, and I'm looking at me that, where is the power? Like, literally, I can't even think of this power that they are claiming we have. What I would do with this power, only if it was, true. But you hear these things. And then you hear also from other tribes of who they are. And even they go to the extent of saying that, oh, as for an Ewe, when he marries outside of his tribe, he will definitely go and marry a woman from his tribe. You hear all these things, and then you are told not to marry from there because of that. And we've seen people coming out to say that they made either the bad decision or listening to these things and not ending up with their partners. And you can also hear others too that say that it's good I listen because I would have put myself in trouble. So it's peculiar to circumstances. Regarding this specific story, what is your opinion generally on ethnocentrism?
All right, thank you. So it's a no-go area, if you should ask, just as you've asked.
Okay.
Of course, I believe that the father is looking out for the good of the son. However, I'm still looking at the motives behind, because in his story, he did not actually tell us exactly the kind of things the father was really saying. But as my sister and then my big brother just said, seeing yours as superior or better than someone and then condemning someone goes against biblical principles. And then as Christians, we shouldn't encourage it. Of course, you might have your reasons for saying that, but those reasons need to be investigated. Again, your experiences is definitely not going to be the same experience as your son. So, for example, the first person who actually took me through hell is an Ashanti. So should I tell my son that, look, Ashantis, they are no go area, please, don't go there. Okay. Then the second person is from BA. So, look, and don't go to BA too. And then again, so don't go to GAN. Seriously? You see, when we do this, then we are shifting from what Christ really wants from us. There's a good reason why we all understand that we did not choose a tribe nor the family. And there's a reason, and one of the reasons is for us to express and then extend love. You see, as Christians, Galatians, Paul tells us that in Christ there's no Jew nor Greek. Okay, so taking away this tribalism and then ethnocentrism, the more we do that, we create discrimination, and then what happens is that at the end of the day, it's like when we meet at church, we are going to smile at each other, but when we go home, it's a no-go area.
Yeah.
So it is something that we really need to take a very critical look at and understand that in these times, those things shouldn't be encouraged. Of course, concerns should be, the father's concerns should be, addressed. Okay, so that, all right, this is what you think. Okay, fine. Let's find out the reasons, because just as you were saying, Evie, I also heard, Voltarians and all that, voodoo and all kinds of stuff. But the honest truth is, a Voltarian that I came into contact with was more than a brother to me. The truth is, he was the one who actually introduced me to computing. His name is Prince Stephen Agbafa, and he's passed away, and it's so hurting. And the truth is, yes, the truth is, anyone who knows this gentleman will testify that he's a very good ever man. Like, he has this genuine heart. And honestly, every other person that I've come into contact with shows me that kind of same genuinity and some kind of love. But here's the case that some people have painted them black, and then, of course, there are some Akan families when you're going, they tell you, hey, don't go to heaven. Make sure you don't bring anyone from that. So all these things, it buries the kind of true love that God would want us to express and then live towards. So ethnocentrism, tribalism is something we shouldn't be encouraging. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Godfred. And so sorry for the loss of your friend. And it's true, like you clearly are saying, that sometimes you meet people that you've heard, growing up, you've heard, hey, these people, don't play with them. Maybe an elder father telling their children not to play with, let's say, an Akan, or an Akan parent telling their children not to play with Ewe, and then they go to school and their best friends become the person of that same tribe that their father says don't. And so the children keep wondering about why. And it could be, like he clearly said, we speak from our experiences. It could be because father had a terrible experience with an Akan, and Akan had a terrible experience with, an Ewe, Ga, Fanti, Inzima, all of that. But I'm happy that, Godfred, you brought your conversation to the point of what we should do as Christians. Just when we go to church, and in church, we are all different people from different tribes, different backgrounds, different families, different. And we stand there and we sing, I love this family of God. We do all that when we come to church. But it's as if we live that lifestyle in the church, and when we come out, we forget that the people we were standing with some few minutes ago are from different backgrounds just like us, and we claim we love them because they are the family of God. And then you go into the world and your child brings somebody that you are saying is family of God, yet you will say no. Like, is that how Christians are supposed to behave? Let's talk about how some Christians still believe in condemning people solely based on where they come from. You have somebody coming from church, getting home and fighting with somebody in her compound because they are from some particular tribe. You pick your Bible and you say you are going to church, and you're not talking to somebody because they are from a particular family. We do this as Christians. Is that what Christ asked us to come and do?
It's totally wrong. But people do it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Where I stay is Voltarians.
Okay.
They are all Voltarians. And since I got there, they've never treated me good. Okay.
Can you imagine?
Yes. And we are Akans. Okay. Whenever you meet anybody, regardless of the tribe, there is more into life than tribe. Okay. Yes. So as Christians, we should treat everybody nicely. Okay. You might never know that the future of the person, or wherever that you will meet the person. Okay. Even when the person hasn't told you the tribe, it might be that I have been very good friends with you, and I didn't even know that maybe you were a Voltarian.
Exactly.
Okay? And maybe you don't even know that I'm an Akan.
Yeah.
But we have placed it just somewhere.
It doesn't
because
come to mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we are Christians. Okay. And when we are Christians, we believe in the Word of God. And the Word of God says that we should be what? We should be good to anybody that we see. So for the tribal issues, whenever I see anybody, that thing doesn't come into mind. But from the way they behave and their characters they portray, that would scare you, and then you get to know that this person is from this tribe, and then you try to move away from the person. Okay. So as Christians, you're not supposed to do that. But we have people that the way they behave, that is when we would ask, so where does this person coming from? Why is the person coming from that he or she is behaving like this? Okay, because it's weird. If we are Christians, then we should be good.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yes, so regardless of our tribe, for tribes, we are not the ones who choose our tribes or families. From because I don't see the reason why you go and stay in a Voltairean home or in a Ga home, and then because you're an Akan, they don't treat you nicely.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not right. It's not right. Me, I choose everybody that I see. I try to be nice to the person, regardless of your tribe, because for tribes we are not the ones who choose tribes for ourselves. So as Christians, we should. But it would marvel you that even at church, as you are greeting, people will just pass by and then they will not greet you just because you are from a particular family, or just because you are from a particular tribe. Okay, and it's wrong.
Absolutely wrong.
Yes, even sometimes in the choice of our leaders in the church, there are tribalism there, and then they will tell you that even when you work with them, they will tell you that you are from this tribe, you are from this tribe. So when they are choosing leaders of the particular organization, and then you find out that most of the leaders are Gans, or most of the leaders are Ewes. So because of that, if you are an Akan, they are not trying to they will not even try to bring you in there. And then you have people that you are friends with. We talk and we speak English, because I know that when I speak English, you understand.
You understand, right?
Okay. And then the moment that they know that you are not from their tribe, they decide to change their dialect.
And speak their own dialect, so you don't understand.
Yes. We are in the house and you see them talking about you, and then you hear them changing the dialect to a dialect that they think you don't understand. It might be you even understand better, but since you've not spoken to them about it, they think you don't know, and they will insult you in their dialect. When this happens, you see that so these experiences that I am experiencing, I won't opt for that. I won't allow my child to marry from such a tribe. When you are married from a tribe and then you don't know the background of the person, the culture of the person, a funeral comes, they say we are going to have this culture. Yes, we are Christians, but we still portray our culture, our traditions. When you are getting married, they have the traditional marriage before you come for the white wedding. And then where the person is coming from, you go and have the tradition, even when we are Christians. Some still believe in the traditions that are not godly, you see. And then you are married from such a tribe. The parents will talk about it because of their experiences. There's a funeral, and then you are married from such a tribe. They tell you, bring this, bring that, bring this. Are you a Christian? Are you going to say you're a Christian so you don't follow the tradition or you don't follow the culture? So as Christians, we still have our culture there. Our traditions are still there. And if we are Christians, then we should just choose the traditions that are godly and we follow. Yeah. Because by the time you realize you are marrying an Ewe, you are an Akan. You marry an Ewe, they say the person is dead, or there's a funeral there, you are traveling to such a place. And then you go there and you see the things that are not godly, and you are supposed to do it. What will you do? Because the traditions are still there. Our culture is still there, even though we are Christians. So we should treat people nicely. But the traditions, we know that the traditions are still there. So whenever you're going to marry someone, you have a tradition that you're supposed to do. I come into your house, I'm an Akan, and you're speaking Ewe. You know that I don't understand the Ewe, but you are still saying the Ewe. What will I do? I'm coming to marry from your family. And you say we are Christians and you want me to marry from such a family. What will I do? Again, I had a girlfriend and she was very good. But when I go to their house, then the husband, and they'll be speaking the Ghana. The husband say, oh, speak English because your friend is here. Yes, because so that everybody can cooperate. But you have people that I'm going to braid my hair. I was braiding my hair in a salon. They were hours, and I didn't understand what they were saying. And every time I go there, they'll be speaking the Ewe as they are braiding your hair. They will speak the Ewe from the beginning till the end, that they will braid the hair. And you don't understand anything. But you are Christian, so. Yeah. And she's speaking the Ewe, and she's also braiding my hair. When I finish, I'll just pay. All that they said, I never understood anything. Maybe they were talking about a movie they watched, yes, and I don't understand it. But since I don't understand, I might think that they were insulting me or something. You see, but if they had spoken a dialect that I understand, there will not be issues. Yeah. Okay, so we should learn from these things. We are in a church. we have church leadership, we are praying for leaders, and then you see that they will tell you that this person is from this, so the person can't be a leader in our church. Maybe we are in a Ga community, and then the person doesn't understand the Ga or it can't speak the Ga, so it can't be a leader. You see, it's not good. So as Christians, we are talking about this, and it cuts across everything. And marriage goes beyond tribe.
Oh yeah, marriage goes beyond tribe.
Yes, so we should. It's not only about marriage. It's about everything that we do at our workplaces, in our church, in where we stay, where we rent. There are issues.
Yeah.
So as we are in the 21st century and we are reading more, we are being enlightened. Our mindsets are being opened up to a lot of issues. We shouldn't single out only tribal issues with regards to marriage. There are a lot of things that we should talk about, but just because of our traditions and our culture, that is why parents try to emphasize on the tribal issues.
Just so you know what you're going to.
Yes, so if you know that you are opting for a Ga woman, you should know that definitely the Gans, they like kenke, and you are Akan and you like fufu. When you go there, she will give you the kenke.
Yeah.
If you are going to such a tribe, you should know what is there and their culture and what they do. If you are, I'm marrying a Northerner, I should know that Northerners, they like maybe TZ, they like this. I should know how to prepare their food.
Yeah.
Their dialect, I should understand it.
Yeah,
I should be able to speak if I know I'm going there. I should know a lot of things about them. So the parents will tell you what you are going for. This is what is there. These are the rules that are governing it. So if you are going there, please, you should learn about all these things, and you should be aware of these. So when you get in there and they are speaking the Kasina or the Gati, and you understand it, and you can speak, and you are able to find. But if you can't, and you go there, they are speaking it, and it's something else. One of my brothers married a Northerner, and then we are Bono people, Bono and Asante mixed. My mommy is an Asante, my father is a Bono. Okay, and my brother married a Northerner. There's nothing wrong with marrying a Northerner, but the lady doesn't understand some of the Bono dialects. When my brother is on phone call, they say, what dialect are you speaking? And when the lady is also speaking the Dagate,
he doesn't understand.
You see, so we should. It's not wrong to marry a Northerner. It's not wrong to marry any of these, but you should be aware of the challenges regarding it. You should be aware of the dialect and the food they eat. You should know a lot of things about them. You should be able to learn and then cope with it. But for Ghanaians, most people don't like change. And then when you are learning how to do it, and there is a challenge, okay? Even amongst the accounts, there are divisions. My husband is from Techiman. I'm from Brekum. And Techiman and Brekum, they are all in Bono region. But how we speak our Bono is different from how they speak their Bono. Some of the words, when he pronounces it, is different from how we pronounce the same item. When I got married, I tried to learn about a lot of things about the Techiman people. The food they eat. There are some that are different from mine. There are some that my background, I never got exposed to it. So I have learned a lot of things just because I am married to the person. And those things are for my betterment, not something that is bad. So even within the same account, we have divisions. Whenever you're going there, you should learn how to change, how to learn, how to cope, how to embrace new things. When you are doing that one you'll be fine. But if you are saying that I'm going there, I'm not ready to learn.
That won't work.
I'm not ready to learn, but I want to go there. In this regard, there will be challenges. When the person is speaking, you think the person is insulting you because you didn't learn the dialect.
That's true.
So Christians, if you want to be just about a lot of, if you want to cope with all these tribes, then we should learn. We should understand how people are. We should go beyond the way we see things. Then we should learn a lot of things about them, understand them. They should also learn things about us.
Of course.
And then they should understand us so that we'll be able to live as Christians.
That's true.
Yes.
That's
that
true.
is what I would say.
Thank you so much, Josephine. And I agree. You know, when you're going into a tribe, it's just right, or it's one of the precautions to learn from the tribe. Learn their food. Learn their language, learn their traditions before you take that step to go into it. And like clearly we've been talking about people and their experiences. Godfred has shared his experience with all the people that he knows that have been good to him, and coincidentally they are Ewes. Josephine has shared some experiences about people that she has met who have not been so great to him. Coincidentally they happen to be Ewes. Vice versa. It could be a guy, it could be an Akan, it could be anybody from any tribe. So the question now becomes, is it a personality behavior? Is it a character that each of these people have built that makes them who they are, more so than just by the fact that they come from this particular place, if you get what I mean? We would have to go for a break. When we come back, we'll look at how this guy can handle the situation with his father. How can he make his father understand that this is the woman I have found? She may come from this tribe, but all characters, all behaviors are perfect or almost perfect, so I want to end up with her. How can she convince her? His dad. We'll be right after the break. Do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk.
As a small business owner, Metaisha Business Forum, our Hope channel, it really helps me with my business.
Don't let your priorities be because obi eye bibinti. Also we share some wide. Why one kasa sawasa. So we jani ni obi ani.
Okay.
Obi ani need there so that ungo fa a problem and also.
In the first place, business a risk.
Okay.
It's just all about risk. Now pursue your business, so now you need you should be a risk taker.
Okay.
I would recommend it to you to mess rest also beshebi.
Hello and welcome to Hope Channel, and of course to your favorite program, Watch These Signs.
As long as you are not in that boundary, he will do all kinds of things to protect you so that you continue to move. There are times some things should have happened which should have crushed you to death, but because of the power of God, to give you extra more time so that you can consider the issues of eternity.
From
plug things
on the farm.
Verse 23.
Yes, and that was when the Pharisees came, then he made this statement. And that is the same response people give today. That the Sabbath law says, thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do this, don't touch this, don't go to market, don't. And so people use this text to tell you that even Jesus.
Welcome back from that quick break. We are still at the studios of Hope TV Ghana, coming your way with Real Talk. Today we are having a conversation about ethnocentrism. There's this young man whose father is preventing him from marrying the woman he loves because he says he does not like the family or the tribe that she is coming from. And so because of that, he's not going to give his blessings. He wants to go ahead and marry her, but he doesn't want to also, disobey his father or dishonor his father, and he needs help with it. We've been talking extensively about this. I've been doing this with Josephine, Daniel, and Godfrey. Then I'm going to come to you. We've spoken at length about what Christians should do when it comes to this. I don't know if you have more to say about that, but I want us to spend some time on how he can make his father understand his decision. You know, his mother obviously is quiet. I don't know why she's quiet. I don't know how he can get his mother, if she supports him, to speak on his behalf with, you know, her husband, that is his father, how his mother can help. But then how can this young man talk to his father, let him know, Dad, this is the woman I want and she's the one I want to go for. and make sure that he understands so that there will be peace at home?
Yeah, I mean, you see, to begin with, after reading the story, I felt that this young man should also see this as a test of his maturity, to some extent. Now you say you are old, you're going to get married. Let's see how you are able to bring your father along to agree with you in terms of, get your father to change, his mind on the situation. I do not blame the father so much, simply because, when we sing, I love this family of God, when we do all the handshakes and all that, what we are to understand, what we have been doing is that, hey, I mean, I love you being a church member, but not really as an in-law. That is what it means. The father goes to the extent of saying, your people and our people, her people and our people, and all that. So you see, even though that is not what it should be, that's what it is. What should this young man do? Now, as a young man that is mature enough to marry, you need to sit down with your father and talk. If I were in his shoes, I would probably, set myself, to begin with, get your mother to be on your side. Now it is you and your father on both ends. Your mother is basically just standing in the middle. But it should be easy for you to get your mother to be on your side.
Yeah.
Getting your mother to be on your side doesn't really mean that getting your mother to go against your father. No. But if you can convince your mom on their side, and by convincing, what I'm really looking at is get to understand what their fears are. Get to understand where they are coming from. Is it because of the distance that they are going to cover? Should they have to, travel for funerals? Is it because, they have specific instances with regards to that particular family? Not necessarily the girl's, nucleus, family per se, but extended family by way of name, that they are making those arguments. So I will go on, different meetings with my dad to, one, understand where he's coming from. And that meeting shouldn't be like, I am trying to convince him. I want to listen to my father. Let my father present those arguments. So I will start off by simply saying, hey, Dad, we started off on a bad note. Let's rewind and make this thing work. I mean, I need your blessings. I don't push me to the point where it's like I have to make a decision between you, and then my life partner. That is not on the table to begin with.
Yeah.
I want to work with you. I want you to work with me. So let me listen to you. Let me understand you. Listen to your dad. End that meeting by not you trying to convince your dad. Go sleep on it. Let your dad go sleep on it. And then convince your dad to another meeting where this time around you are going to tell your dad, using the points that he has raised and others, to try to convince him. Ask him not to make any judgment there. Go sleep on it. Reflect on it. And you guys should meet again and then let everybody, lay down, with regards to where they stand on the issue.
Yeah.
By this time, if you have been able to get your mom to be on your side, as your father reflects on it, he's definitely going to talk with, with his wife. And your mom can be doing, from the bedroom, be doing some soft push for you there. So,
yeah.
Before, you guys sit to talk about these things, then you know that for sure, okay, this is where my father stands. In a case that this doesn't help resolve the issue, bring in third parties. I will look for, somebody from the tribe that the lady I'm going to marry from, who is my father's best friend, and bring that person to come talk to my dad. So that my father can try and explain to that person why he likes him as a friend, but he doesn't like him, to be family.
Absolutely.
We need to, let us understand that we are Christians not because we are perfect. We have come to Christ with a mindset of we want to reflect him, and it is a process. We are not there yet. And that's what I see in this, in this father. I don't want to condemn him so much by way, by extension. I don't want to condemn, other people who have these sentiments. We need to understand them and then try and help them walk through the process where they will begin to see things from the perspective that probably some of us are seeing it from.
Yeah.
And then, if all these are exhausted, after that you can make your decision. But don't start off with the point of, hey, no, I mean, this is the 21st century. You can't make decisions for me. I mean, I'm old enough to make that judgment myself. That one, hey, you can win the argument with your father and end up losing it. But it will be better that you take your time, to walk through your father, this sort of thing.
Absolutely, Dan, and I completely agree. But after all said and done, if there is no concession from the father, will he be wrong going ahead and marrying this woman without his blessings?
I wouldn't say, he will be wrong, but I will want him to carefully evaluate that decision being made and bring the spouse, the to-be spouse along as well. Because listen, marriage is about families.
Yeah.
And if you are going to have children, how is your father going to see these children that are going to come as a product of, you guys' union? How is your wife going to be able to take it? Is your wife ready for that rough ride with your dad? Before you make that decision, it is not about my dad doesn't support me. That's what I want, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Is your wife ready for the rough ride you're going for? Or your wife cannot take it? If your wife cannot take it, you are better off, not putting your wife in that situation where it's going to be another mess altogether. Now, it is not just your father that you are fighting, but then you are in a relationship, and then your wife is also going to be on your neck, because it's like, you are unable to convince your people. It's not me, it is you and your people. So you go deal with it. But that will not work.
Yeah.
And so before you make that decision, you got to be sure what you are about to face. But I believe that if you don't rush it, you see, when that is the advantage of having Christian parents. You have a lot of channels within which you can push them to the point where even when they don't really agree with you, they will say, well, I don't really agree, but all the points you have made and the people that you have brought to talk about and all the conversations we have had, I will, one way or the other, okay, it's okay, you can go ahead. You have his blessing at that point. In that way, you will realize that, oh, okay, my father is trying to change. Your wife will realize that your father is trying to change. And everybody can move, with that mindset, being cautious that, hey, this is a little bit of a volatile situation that we need to handle, carefully. And with time, I believe that you can work around it. But don't go on that hard note. Hey, well, it's my choice. I'm 28 years old. I can make my decision and all that. It is unfortunate. But this is the reality in which we live,
Yeah.
There is nothing you can do about that. When the white man came, he made us believe that our culture wasn't good. And we have, by extension, also, create more barriers by thinking that, oh, these people are better than this, these people are better than this, these people are better than this. And so, at the end of the day, you have to find a way of working around with it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That should be the goal, not necessarily going on the hard.
That should be the goal. I completely agree with you. Godfrey, I'm sorry, the time is fast spent, but quickly, I would ask, how can he make his father understand where he's coming from? And after everything, if there's no concession, if the father doesn't understand where he's coming from, will he be wrong for going ahead and marrying the woman without his blessing?
All right. Thank you. So from the onset, I already said that this is a difficult one, but there's it. First of all, he shouldn't see it as a fight with his father. It is not a fight. It's about decisions and then choices. Okay. Immediately he sees it as a fight and then requesting that the mother stands up against. No, it is not a fight between son and father and then mother. It is not like that. We are looking at decisions that the dad is not comfortable with. Again, the father has to understand that, yes, his concerns are really noted, and then it's the son who is actually going to get married.
Yeah.
And I love most of the things that, Mr. Mensah had said. It's like he was just taking everything from me, and I really love that. And then again, going ahead to marry, there's not like a black and white situation where this is wrong or right. But you see, in Ghana, marriage is not just between two people. It's between families. So just as Mr. Mensah was saying and then asking, he has to ask himself, is he really ready to go on that kind of path? Because believe you me, there's going to be a rough road. You know, we are families, so I'm not saying something bad should happen, but the question is, when there's an issue and you need someone to talk to, and then you cannot talk to your wife, who would you be talking to then? There are instances that we need our father, we need our mother to settle issues with. The question is, who are you going to turn to? It's going to be unfortunate if you should go ahead personally without the consent of the father or the mother. Yes, the mother might have her own reasons for not, standing up, but lo and behold, you don't know what she's been doing in the bedroom in support of you, the son. Personally, I wouldn't advise you to go straight ahead and say that, well, I'm of age. No, don't do that, just as we are all saying. Just have a dialogue with your dad. And it's indeed good that you don't go in with an attack, but you go in with a listening ear. You see, he shouldn't go and speak being offensive, and then whilst listening to, he shouldn't be defensive about it.
Yeah.
He should go like he really wants to get the father where he's coming from, get the experiences. And then just as Mr. Mensah said, later on you come in and then you let the father know that, okay, this is also what you believe. When it comes that the lady should come in, if she wants to, there's a way you can do that. Aside that, he can see a counselor, can see pastors, elders, and then someone that the father would love to, take advice from.
Yeah.
But to go ahead, it's a no-go area. He needs patience, tolerance, and endurance, because he will have to educate the father too. But that education shouldn't come from his chest. It should come out of a heart and then from a clear mind. Emotions set aside, and then let's look at the facts on the table, and then let's just address it. For all you know, I know someone who, after the father even agreed, he and then the wife, the lady, later agreed that, in fact, it's good we go our separate ways. You get a point. For all you know, yours might turn out that way. And as I said earlier, there are a lot in the write-up, his things that we miss. But I'm sure that there will be more time for that. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Josephine, sorry, quickly.
There's a minute.
Yeah. What would you tell this young man?
Okay, he should be patient. Okay. Marriage, although you are going to stay with the lady alone, but the family is important. Your extended family, where you are coming from, is important, and you still have to be going there from time to time. You can't neglect them, especially in our Ghanaian traditional setting. So he should be patient, and he should take his time and speak to the father and the mother. They will definitely understand. There should be a dialogue.
Yeah.
And then they should explain why they are not in agreement with their son. The son should also explain why he is going to marry the lady, okay? And I think there will be a conclusion at the end of the discussion.
Thank you so much. I read just 1-2 comments, then we can go. Angela Ampon-Sakodia said, marriage is broad, extensive, between both families, and a lifetime commitment. You have to critically analyze a lot of things before venturing. Love alone is not enough. Although tempers are high, things have to be critically analyzed also on both sides to ensure peace to reign. All the best. Solomon Zelevu says, in Christ Jesus, we have no Jewish, no Gentiles. We are all one. No tribalism, no racism. In the name of marriage, you can be instrument of salvation to her family at large in a wise way in Christ Jesus. The Holy Spirit will lead you to explain in peace to your father and also to understand peacefully. God help you. Mami Adjoa Aka says, get elderly people to talk to your father on your behalf. Don't rush and do things without involving him. With time, he will come around. but also consider his reasons critically and ask God to direct your path. And if it's God's will, everything will be fine. Absolutely. I agree completely with everything that our panelists have said. I would add on that you should pray about this very seriously. And also do not, as clearly everyone said, do not go based on your emotions, how you're feeling. Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. I think you should sit down, listen to what your father is saying, bring in people to talk to him. And if you are going ahead to marry the woman, just as Josephine said, make sure you study everything and anything about her culture, and make sure she does same for you as well, so that you people will have an understanding of where you are together as a married couple, and also where you are together as family members. And I'm sure that is going to help you guys navigate all the issues or challenges that come with traditions and tribal issues in marriages. But then this is to everybody out there. The Bible has cautioned us to love our neighbors as ourselves. I think we should apply the golden rule here. Do unto others as you would want done to you. And let not be so critical about people just based on their tribes. It will be very unfortunate to treat a good person badly just because of their tribe. So you're afraid, oh, I know you're a good person, but because you come from here, I think you may be evil. Let me just be bad to you. It doesn't even make sense. So let's just all go out there and just try to be godly Christians. And I'm sure that with discernment, when we meet the people that are actually evil, God will help us see, and then we can distance ourselves from them. Thank you so much, Josephine, for coming. Mrs. Josephine Owusuege, thank you so much. Godfred, thank you so much for coming. And Daniel, thank you for coming. Our time is fast spent. It was short. Probably would have to have a part 2 so that we can go into it and then extensively make sure that everything is catered for. I'll be back same time next week with another exciting story here at Hope TV Real Talk. But until then, continue to enjoy the rest of the content on our TV stations. My name is Evie. Enjoy the rest of the evening.